Welcome to the deep dive. We're firing up the engines today for a look at the Indy 500, the 109th running, actually.
That's right. Speedway, Indiana, Sunday, May 25th, 2025. Kicks off, 12:45 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, 12.45 ET, and we're talking 500 miles.
200 laps on that legendary 2.5-mile oval. It's a massive test. Skills, strategy, engineering, everything.
Totally. And that's where things get really interesting for us today, isn't it? We've pulled together some recent expert takes to give you a sharp and hopefully entertaining overview of the Indy 500 betting scene.
Exactly. We'll look at the favorites, potential long shots,
Right.
who might crack the top 3 or top 5.
And maybe even some of those prop bets. They always add a bit of fun.
For sure. It's all about giving you that inside track quickly because, let's face it, the Indy 500,
Yeah.
it's famous for its traditions, like the milk, right?
Yeah, the milk.
But also for just being wildly unpredictable. Crashes, cautions, anything can happen.
So our goal here is to help you understand the betting landscape, give you insights into who the smart money might be on, maybe find some value picks further down the grid.
And pinpoint those race situations that could be interesting betting opportunities.
Okay, let's unpack this. For anyone listening who's maybe a bit newer to IndyCar, maybe we should quickly cover what makes this series, and especially this race, tick before we jump into the odds.
Good idea. So you're looking at these open-wheel, open-cockpit cars. Insanely fast. They can push over 235 miles per hour.
Wow.
Yeah. The whole NTT IndyCar series is super competitive, but the Indy 500, that's the crown jewel. So much history, so much prestige.
Right. So when it comes to betting on it, what are the main ways you can do that?
Okay, the main one is the outright winner bet, sometimes called the money line. Super simple. Who's going to cross the finish line first?
And the odds look like?
You'll see something like plus 600. That just means if you bet $100 and your driver wins, you profit $600.
Gotcha. What else?
Then you've got podium bets top 3 finish. Odds are usually lower here because, it's easier to pick someone in the top 3 than the outright winner.
Makes sense.
And similar thinking for top 5 or top 10 bets. Even safer, but, the payouts are smaller.
Okay, so picking finishers. Are there other angles?
Oh, yeah. That's where prop bets come in. Prop bets are fun. They're wagers on specific things happening during the race.
Like what?
Like which team gets the win, or the nationality of the winning driver, even stuff like how many caution periods there'll be.
The over-under on yellows.
Exactly. Or driver matchups. Betting one driver finishes ahead of another specific driver. Lots of options.
Interesting. So it's definitely not just about P1. Now, thinking about making a bet, what are the big things that really influence who wins this race and therefore the odds?
Oh, there's a ton. Starting position, that's one. Being on pole helps. Gives you clean air initially, but it's definitely no guarantee.
Right. We've seen winners from way back.
Absolutely. Team strength is huge. You look at the history, Penske, Andretti, Ganassi, they just dominate this place.
They have the resources, the experience.
Exactly. Then there's driver experience, how they've been performing recently.
Yeah.
But like we said, Indy is unpredictable. Cautions, crashes, they can totally flip the script. Strategy changes in an instant.
Weather, too, right? Can play a part.
For sure.
Yeah.
And how the cars look in practice and qualifying, that tells you a lot. If you want to stay on top of all that, places like FOX Sports, FanDuel, they're great for updates.
Okay, good basics covered. Now let's get into it. Who are the odds makers liking this year? Who are the front runners for 2025?
Well, the favorites are usually the guys with the shortest odds, right? Strong teams, good Indy history. Right now, Pato Award. He's looking like a top pick. Around plus 500 on DraftKings.
Pato Award. Okay, why him? Driving for Arrow McLaren, right?
Yep. And he came so close last year, 2024. That photo finished with Newgarden.
I remember that.
So he's the betting favorite now. Likely because of that near miss. He's been really consistent at Indy. And those McLaren Chevys are quick. You just feel he's incredibly motivated to finally drink that milk.
Any downsides? Risks?
Well, he hasn't won it yet. That's the big one. And sometimes McLaren's race strategy, it's been questioned. But for a novice bettor, an outright win on Award feels relatively safe, given his speed.
Or maybe hedge a bit?
Yeah, you could look at a top 3 finish bet, too. That's around plus 150. Better chance of hitting, smaller payout.
Okay, who else is in that top tier?
Alex Palou. Chip Ganassi Racing. His odds are right there with Award, maybe plus 600 on FanDuel.
The reigning series champ. He's been on fire this season, hasn't he?
Unbelievably so. Like 4 wins in the first 5 races.
Yeah.
Including the Indy road course. Just dominant.
And his Indy 500 record.
Pretty solid. Top 10s the last 4 years. Finished second back in 2021. He even set the pole record in 23. Crazy speed.
So why are his odds maybe a touch longer than Award's? despite that form?
Well, he still hasn't won the 500 either. And while he's amazing on road courses, maybe slightly less dominant on the ovals compared to, say, Newgarden. But Ganassi gives him incredible equipment.
So a bet on Palu is maybe valuing that current hot streak.
Exactly. Or, again, played a bit safer with a top 5 bet. That's round plus 200. Still a decent return.
Okay, and we have to talk about the guy who has been winning it, Joseph Newgarden. Back-to-back wins. Where's he sitting?
Yeah, Newgarden, the Oval King, Team Penske, 2-time defending champ. It's wild. But his odds are a bit longer this year, maybe plus 750 on FanDuel.
Why longer, after winning 2 straight?
There was that penalty recently. Him and his teammate Will Power got sent to the back of the grid. Something about modified attenuators.
Ah, right. That definitely makes a third win tougher.
It does. But you can't completely count him out. Remember 2024? He drove from 17th to win. He knows how to get through the field.
And it's Penske. They know how to win here. How many is it, 20?
20 wins for Penske, yeah. Unmatched. Newgarden's aggressive. He's smart strategically. So for a better, plus 750 is tempting for the three-peat.
But risky from the back.
Very. So maybe a top 5 bet around plus 225 is the smarter play there. Acknowledges the talent and the team, but hedges against that starting spot.
Makes sense. Okay, that covers the big names. But the Indy 500 loves a surprise, right? Let's talk long shots. Who could pull off an upset and deliver a big payout?
Absolutely. Long shots are where you can find some real value if you pick right. These guys have higher odds, lower implied probability, but maybe something clicks on race day. Let's start with Santino Ferrucci, seeing him around plus 2,500 on BetMGM.
Ferrucci always seems to run well at the 500, doesn't he? It's uncanny.
It really is. He drives for AJ Foyt Racing, and his Indy record is amazing. 6 starts, never finished worse than 10th. He was 3rd in 2022.
So why the long odds? Just the team?
Mostly, yeah. Foyt isn't one of the powerhouse teams, budget-wise. Yeah. But, and this is key, they have a technical link with Penske, so the equipment is actually pretty competitive. And Ferrucci, he's completed every single lap he's ever raced at Indy. That's 1,000 miles. Incredible consistency. His aggressive style works well in the draft, too.
So maybe not an outright win bet for a novice, but...
Exactly. He's a fantastic long shot pick for a top 10 finish. That's around plus 300. Or even a podium at plus 700. Great value given his track record here.
Okay, good one. Who else is down the order but maybe worth a flyer?
How about David Malukas? He's around plus 1,800 on BetMGM. He actually joined Foyt Racing this year, 2025.
So, similar situation to Ferrucci then. Foyt, car, Penske help.
Yep. And those are pretty appealing odds for that package. He hasn't won at Indy, but he's often shown really good speed in practice and qualifying, usually top 15 pace.
The move to Foyt could help unlock that race pace.
That's the hope. The main knock might be his relative lack of oval experience compared to veterans.
Yeah.
And, Penske, Andretti, Ganassi have won nearly everything since 2011, so history is against a smaller team win.
So for Malukas, maybe not the win bet, but...
A top 10 bet around plus 400 seems like a smart way to play his potential upside without going all in on the win.
Got it. Anyone else catching your eye in that long shot category?
Maybe Kyle Kirkwood. He's driving for Andretti Global. Odds around plus 2,200 on Bovada.
Andretti. They know how to win this race.
They certainly do. And Kirkwood had his best finish last year, 7th place, even led a couple of laps.
Still relatively new to ovals, though.
Yeah, his oval experience is still building, but the team strength is there, and he showed good pace last year. So maybe for a novice, a top 10 bet on Kirkwood makes sense, around plus 350 maybe.
Yep.
Capitalize on that momentum and team strength, but keep the risk manageable.
Okay, so we've looked at winners, we've looked at long shots, but like you said, sometimes you just want a better chance of cashing a ticket, even if it's not a massive win. Let's talk top 3, top 5, top 10 picks specifically.
Right, these bets definitely increase your probability. For a top 3 Pato award at plus 150 on DraftKings, that feels pretty solid.
Based on last year's near miss and his consistency.
Yeah. Exactly. Always seems to be there at the end. Car's got late race speed, and maybe McLaren's strategy is getting sharper. Another interesting top 3, maybe a bit riskier, Colton Herta.
Andretti car, right? Finished 4th last year.
Yep. Odds around plus 700 for a top 3 on DraftKings. His oval consistency can be up and down, but the speed is undeniable, and it's Andretti. That plus 700 offers a nice potential payout if you're willing to take that gamble.
Okay. Moving slightly safer, top 5 finishes.
Josef Newgarden. Even starting from the back, plus 225 on Caesars for a top 5. I think that's very doable for him.
His track record here is just too strong to ignore.
Pretty much. 3 top 5 in the last 5 races. Yeah. Penske setup. He knows how to slice through traffic and use those cautions. Then there's the Iceman, Scott Dixon.
Always a factor.
Always.
He's-
Six-time champ, Indy winner, 5 poles here. He's plus 250 on FanDuel for a top 5. He just lives in the top 10 at Indy. Ganassi reliability, massive experience. It's a pretty low-risk top 5 bet, relatively speaking.
Okay, and for the safest category, top 10. Who looks good there?
Christian Lundgaard at plus 200 on BetMGM is one to watch. RLO Racing. He's really improved here. Finished 13th last year from way back in 28th.
And he starts higher this year.
Yeah, 8th. That means cleaner air early on. He just seems to be getting better and better on ovals. Also, maybe Connor Daly, plus 250 on DraftKings.
Daly always seems to pop up with a good run at Indy.
He does. 6th in 2022. Led laps before. He's experienced, usually stays out of trouble. Good shout for a top 10.
All right, great stuff on the finishing positions. Let's circle back to those prop bets. They seem like a fun way to get involved beyond just who finishes where. What are some interesting ones for this year?
Yeah, they definitely add another layer.
Yeah.
One common one is winning team. Team Penske is the favorite there, around plus 200 on BetMGM. Makes sense, given their history.
Logical.
You can also bet on the winning nationality. American drivers like Newgarden or even Ferrucci have been strong lately, so the odds for a U.S. winner will likely reflect that.
What about those cautions?
Yeah, the over-under on caution periods, often set around 6.5 cautions. Look, you put 33 cars on that oval at those speeds.
Things happen.
Things happen. Last year had quite a few yellows, so maybe taking the over 6.5 at next 110 on BetRivers? That seems plausible.
Any rookie props? Schwartzman on pole is a big story.
Huge story. So yeah, there's likely a prop like rookie to finish top 5. Schwartzman might be around plus 300 on BetRivers for that. High risk, high reward, given he's on pole. But the team, Prema, is mid ovals.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second. What are the big picture narratives the context bettors should really keep in mind?
Well, first is that team dominance thing we touched on. Penske, Andretti, Ganassi, they've won almost every 500 since 2011. Betting on drivers from those teams is usually the safer, statistically sound play. Upsets from smaller teams, while exciting, are rare.
And the Penske penalties.
Right. Newgarden and Power starting at the back. Hurts their win chances for sure. But don't count them out entirely for a top 5. The cars are just too quick.
Then there's Kyle Larson doing the double again.
Yep. NASCAR star, Indy 500, and the Coke 600 same day. Finished 18th last year, starts 21st this time. Win odds are long, maybe plus 1,800, but he's so talented. A top 10 finish, maybe plus 400, seems possible.
And the rookie phenom, Schwartzman.
Yeah, incredible story, getting pole as a rookie. Historic. But again, Prema's lack of oval experience means you temper expectations. His odds jumped from like plus 4,000 to plus 1,500 after pole, but still reflect some uncertainty.
Any historical trends?
Well, winning 3 in a row is incredibly hard. That's the challenge facing Newgarden. Also, late passes for the lead are super common here. So drivers known for closing speed award, Newgarden again, are always dangerous at the end.
Okay, we've covered a ton of ground. If you're listening and relatively new to Indy 500 betting, what's a good basic strategy to start with?
I'd say don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify, maybe bet a little on a favorite to win, but also make some safer bets, like a top 5 or top 10 pick you feel good about.
Mix it up.
Yeah. And maybe add a fun prop bet. Also, keep an eye on the odds. They do change, especially after final practice and qualifying. Check places like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM for the latest numbers.
And manage your money. Right.
Crucial. Set a budget, stick to it. Make smaller bets across a few different things rather than one big one. Oh, and look for sportsbook promos or bonuses, especially if you're a new user. They can give you a little extra value.
Any final tips?
Try to watch Carb Day, the final practice on Friday. It often gives you a really good sense of who's got speed and confidence heading into Sunday.
Okay, great advice. So to wrap this all up, for someone looking to place some informed bets on the 2025 Indy 500, what are the main takeaways?
I think it's about having a balanced approach. Look at the favorites, sure, but don't ignore the potential value in long shots or consistent performers. Think about those top finish bets for a better chance of return, and maybe throw in a prop bet just for fun.
And where can listeners get the very latest info as race day gets closer?
Definitely keep checking major sports outlets like FOX Sports. FanDuel Research is excellent for detailed betting previews. And social media like X-Follow accounts like @FanDuel Research, @The Gold Sheet. They're great for quick hits and last-minute news.
Perfect. Well, some fantastic insights there. And obviously we have to say, please gamble responsibly, and more than anything, just enjoy the incredible spectacle of the race.
Absolutely.
As we finish up this deep dive, it's clear that data and analysis are super helpful, but the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and just has this magic, this way of throwing curveballs. Maybe the real strategy isn't just picking the winner, but appreciating that incredible mix of skill, strategy, technology, and pure chance that plays out over those 500 miles. Definitely something to chew on.